This is a STRIPSACK DUALCAST. I'm the Hawk.
And I'm the Fat Man.
All right, Monday night's recap. Bucks 25, Giants 23. Much closer game than any of us thought. Came down to the very last play. What are your thoughts?
I think the Giants got fucked on that 2-point conversion. That was definitely pass interference. I'm not saying they would have got it, but they definitely deserved a second shot. I could see how somebody can make the case for, he kind of turned his head back looking for the ball, but he fucking plowed into the guy. Granted, he got his arm in there, got his arm on the ball, but that was bullshit. It was definitely a better game than I thought it was going to be. The Giants looked really good. They were up on the Bucks most of the game, and they were kind of shredding up that defense. I think if Danny Dimes was a little bit more accurate and dropping the ball in just right, they would have scored a lot more points, because there was a few times there where he overthrew a guy just barely enough.
I really feel like he's really starting to progress. I feel like, these big games are just getting closer and closer. I really feel like he didn't make the big mistake that costed his team this game, which is good. Tom Brady, on the other hand, 28-40, 2 touchdowns. It was just enough to win the game. I don't think the Bucks have anything to worry about having a close game against the Giants. The Giants just have been playing tough all year, except for them getting smashed by the Niners.
Well, Jones had, he had 2 interceptions, but I wasn't too impressed with that Bucks defense tonight. They kind of got cut up by one of the worst offenses in the league, which if I was a Bucks fan, I'd be a little concerned about.
Yeah, it was by scheme too. It wasn't like anything crazy. There was just wide open guys everywhere.
Right.
Maybe they just weren't ready for it.
I didn't really see too many busted coverages or anything, so it was just kind of crazy that to see guys running down the field wide open.
Yeah, it makes me think that the Giants are a lot closer than anybody really thinks. They're sitting at 1-7, but they might be close.
Or are we just overrating the Bucks?
Nah, we ain't overrating. Antonio Brown's coming next week, bud. We're gonna have good front seven and a really good offense.
Maybe Bruce Arians just isn't that good of a coach.
That might be it. Who knows? We'll see that going forward too. All right, up next we got the power rankings. How about you go first, Fat Man?
Oh, bro, it's Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh at number 1. I don't think anybody can argue that right now. They're the only undefeated team still out there, and they're playing everybody tough. They had back-to-back tough games. They had the Titans, and then they had the Ravens, and they won both games. They were both knockdown, drag-out fights, and Pittsburgh came out on top in both of them.
Yeah, I got Pittsburgh at number 1 too. Basically what I said yesterday. They were supposed to lose at least one of these games in this 3-game stretch, and they didn't. I really don't see anybody have an argument of why their team's better than the Steelers right now.
Well, like I said, one of the most impressive things to me with Pittsburgh is Mike Tomlin, because the guy knows how to navigate a shit show pretty good. We've seen it last year, and he's consistent. So
yeah, and he's got the 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 ring to prove that he knows what to do with a good football team.
The one question is Mike Tomlin maybe underrated?
I think he is 100%.
Because you never hear his name come up when they're talking about the great coaches in the league or the good coaches in the league. Very rarely do you hear anybody talking about Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, I think Mike Tomlin is right up there with Pete Carroll. Is one of the best coaches in the league. They're going to talk about people who's got rings, what they've done. Outside of Belichick, you got to think that Mike Tomlin and Pete Carroll are up there, and a couple of those other guys. All right, I was about to say you're 2.
Yeah,
you're
2.
next.
Man, I'm just in love with Pittsburgh. I got Pittsburgh on the brain. So at 2, I have Kansas City. Yeah, they flamed the Jets. It's the Jets, but they are all pros. You still got to win the game. So I got Kansas City at 2.
Number 2, I also got Chiefs. They blew out the Jets like they were supposed to. This is what great teams need to do against bad teams.
My favorite thing in that game when they were flaming the Jets was the highlight when Tyreek Hill scored the touchdown, turned around, waved by, and went running up in the stands like, I'm over this shit.
Yeah, my favorite thing about that game is Adam Gase saying he's getting the Jets ready to win this game. Good job, Adam Gase.
That's my boy right there.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, even though they didn't look so sharp tonight, I still have Tampa Bay at number 3. It's hard to move them when they win, right? So
yeah,
they're staying where they're at.
Number 3, I got a leapfrog here. I put the Seahawks there. I think Bobby Wagner is going to rejuvenate this defense. Carlos Dunlap there. They were dialing in some blitzes, so if this defense plays well with that offense, there's, nobody's beating them.
Yeah, and I know we talked yesterday before we went on. I was ready to make Bobby Wagner a dominator. He had a monster of a game. So
yeah, he looks like the best middle linebacker in the league right now.
I hope he keeps it up.
Yep.
4 is actually where I put the Seahawks for all the reasons that the Seahawk fan over there just mentioned. And just, how could you not love Russell Wilson? I mean, he's carrying the goddamn team. So
Buccaneers at 4 for me. A win is a win no matter how close. I give shit to the Bills for that, but I mean, Tom Brady with Antonio Brown, I can't wait to see that. I'm excited.
5, I have the Titans. Yeah, they lost this week, but they're still a good football team. That's their home for now. I like Derrick Henry. Like I said, Tannehill's starting to impress me a little bit. He's not the Ryan Tannehill I had down there in Miami. Plus, his wife is fucking hot, so good for him.
That gives him a couple points.
That makes him at least a 5.
At number 5, I got the Ravens. They lost by 1 play, they lost by 1 play against the Steelers. I'm really interested to see where this team goes forward, though, with their tackle being out. They could drop some games. I really feel that's going to happen.
6 is where I put Baltimore. I think and they're only at 6 because I think if you stop Lamar Jackson, you stop that team. They're kind of a one-man show right now. His receivers are starting to come out and complain that they're not getting the ball enough. Fancy enough, it's that kid that's related to Antonio Brown. So maybe he'll be the next one to show up in Tampa Bay.
All right, number 6, I have the Cardinals. That's nice moving up in the rankings on a bye.
Actually, 7 is where I have the Cardinals. Kyler Murray, looking like a good MVP candidate. I think Cliff Kingsbury is figuring it out. He's turning out to be a pretty decent coach. That defense is playing pretty solid. I know they just had 2 guys show up with COVID, so hopefully that doesn't affect the team that much.
7, this is where I got the Titans. They did get exposed by the Bengals this week. They did make it better in the second half, but it's looking like losing your left tackle is a huge deal.
Yeah. 8 is where I put the Colts. Shit talking Phillip Rivers, keep it up, buddy. Keep winning games. You guys are looking pretty good.
All right, number 8, I got the Green Bay Packers. I know they lost a divisional opponent, but I fully expect them to bounce back. Rodgers playing fantastic still. Another 3 touchdown performance for him. This time it is 3.
I was just going to ask you sure it was 3, not 4? You're over there counting like Tom Brady. 9, I actually put the New Orleans Saints in at 9. I know this is their first appearance on my list. They're playing good. I really thought they were going to lose to the Bears, and surprisingly, man, they just keep showing up, showing out, and winning football games.
The Saints is who I also have at 9. This team has been creeping up. They got Tampa Bay next, which they already beat them. I don't know what the hell's going on with Michael Thomas already. I just want to see him fucking play. But this offense looks good. The defense is solid. I'd look out for the Saints.
10 is actually where I put the Packers because, Aaron Rodgers is playing well. Yeah, they lost this week, but it was a division game, but it was still the 1-5 Vikings. So in my head, they just had to move down.
Number 10, I got the Bills. It was a close win this week against the shitty-ass Patriots. It was a close win against the shitty-ass Jets. A win's a win.
How the hell are you going to put the Bills on the power rankings? They're not even the best team in that division.
Oh, man. Look at that Dolphins fan. Oh, God. The Dolphins should be there. No, don't do that to me.
Look, just so you know, it's better when we have a salty hawk because I can admit when they suck. But Miami's playing pretty good right now. They're not even the best team in that division. It's Miami. We're getting to a time, you had a rough game, and I'm sick of watching all these guys that think they know what the fuck they're talking about coming out and talking shit on ESPN. They just need to shut the fuck up. It was the kid's first game as a rookie. He hasn't played a live game in over a year. They're all going to be eating fucking shit in a couple months.
Come talk to me about the Dolphins being better than Bills when Tua can throw for more than 100 yards in a game, all right? You just keep quiet over there.
Next week, we're going to fucking pick up Danucci.
We'll see. All right, some BS. Jimmy G, George Kittle out. I feel for Niners fans. You know, I hate this team. They're my 32nd favorite team in the NFL, but they don't have 13 of their starters from last year's Super Bowl team. And I really felt like coming into this season, they're going to be the team to beat. I still think that they have a good team. It
You
just
really
sucks.
you really put the Niners behind the Rams?
Yes, I put the Niners behind the Rams. I actually got like a 30th tie with the Rams and the Cardinals.
Oh, I got
Like,
you.
I just hate the 49ers. I love their fans though. I really do. Two of my good buddies are Niners fans. But yeah, like I just feel for that fan base. You go from a real high, you know, and then now it's like 2 years ago. I will tell you, you know, this ain't gonna happen again next year. They'll almost 100% be back, and there's still a lot of game this year. So Shannon's
Well,
a
yeah.
great coach.
Well, yeah, Garoppolo, you know, he missed a couple games at the beginning of the season. There's with an ankle. They're saying this is the ankle again. It's a high ankle sprain. So I kind of wonder if there's something else going on there that's not really coming out to light. And then, you know, Kittle, the guy's a beast. He's probably, I'm going to say he's probably the best tight end out there right now. And, you know, they're talking he might miss the rest of the year with a fracture in his foot. So that's a real hard pill to swallow.
I saw 8 weeks, but I mean, at this point, you know, you're all the way in week 16, so that's
Yeah, I
practically a
mean,
year.
8 weeks is the whole year, and you know there was, like we said, they were so good last year. They get to the Super Bowl, and it's like the wheels came off this year for them. You really do kind of feel bad for them.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're going to see how valuable Jimmy Garoppolo is to this football team. You know, this all Jimmy does is win. You know, his win-loss speaks for his talent. I don't care about anything else that the guy does. It's just his win-loss that matters to me. And the whole Nick Mullins and Beathard talk, you're just going to see it. You're just going to see it going forward for sure. Like, you know, do you see the situation out in Dallas? It's going to be that bad for the Niners too.
Well, Kittle, and I think Kittle missed the first 2 games of the year with an injury. So you kind of wonder what's going on out there. It's just bad for them right now.
They just got the injury bug. It happens.
Yeah,
it's a Super Bowl hangover.
Yeah, but Jesus Christ, their whole team's injured.
Yeah. You know, no Bosa, no Ford, you know, it sucks. No Sherman, no Kittle, no Garoppolo. Now you got Nick Mullins throwing the ball. All right, moving on. Will Fuller possibly getting traded. He's among quite a few other people that could possibly get traded, like Stephon Gilmore. We'll see. But Will Fuller, we'll talk about him. Where do you think he's going to go?
So I thought Houston fired their GM because he was a moron, and now they want to go ahead and they want to make another dumb move. You know, you got Deshaun Watson there. He's a young quarterback. He's a pretty talented quarterback, but he needs guys to throw the football to. Your quarterback's only good if he's got somebody that can catch the ball and run with the ball. I think it's a mistake for Houston to trade him right now, at least until they get another number one guy. I know there's a lot of talk about him going to Green Bay, which I think would be a good fit. I think he went to college with Devontae Adams. I think they were on the same team, so I think that'd be a good fit for him. You'd almost have the OBJ, Jarvis Landry tandem moving over to Green Bay. But he's a good receiver. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if New England tries to make a move for him either, because they need some weapons. You know, he's got 31 catches for 490 yards, 5 touchdowns halfway through the season. So he's a pretty good receiver. I wouldn't mind seeing him come on down to Miami and give Tua another target either.
I think he needs to stay in Houston. You know, I mean, like you said, they just lost DeAndre Hopkins. Why are you going to lose the number 2 as well? Like, give Deshaun Watson a chance. Right. Are you going to Sam Darnold the guy? You're going to take another talented quarterback, give him nobody to throw the ball to?
And honestly, you know what? go ahead, Houston. Go ahead and trade him. Finish down around the bottom of the league, so that because Miami has your first round pick this year. So go ahead and give me like number 2 or 3 in the draft. Make me a happy man. Yeah, I love Tua, but give me a shot at Trevor Lawrence too.
Jesus. You want to buy 4 jerseys in 2 years?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Besides staying in Houston, I'd like to see him going to New Orleans, actually. I'm pretty sure they might be thinking about it, adding some firepower to that offense just to keep up with the Tampa Bay Bucks. It gives them a little bit more firepower, considering that you look at the playoff scenario in the NFC, and you got a lot of really, really good offenses there. The Cardinals, the Packers, the Seahawks. They kind of fall short in that category, and I think Will Fuller would just give them a boost to be right on par with those teams.
Here's another place I just thought of. What about Philly? Give Carson Wentz some help.
Yeah, can't do it all by himself. Come on, guys.
I mean, you're in the thick of things. I know the NFC East is kind of terrible, but we saw tonight the Giants look pretty damn good against the Tampa Bay Bucks. So if I'm sitting there in Philly, I'm thinking, I got to get some weapons here. I got to do something.
Yeah,
because the Giants are coming. They're coming.
Yeah, they really are. All right, 2-game suspension for
the bitch slap heard around the world
for Wims' bitch slap. Yeah, I still think the embarrassment was 100% better than a suspension, but fuck them.
I think 2 games is too much. I think 2 games is too much. I think they, like I said, I think they should send him to boxing school, and he can't come back till he knows how to throw a punch. But 2 games is too long for that little pussy ass swing he threw at him.
Yeah. All right, another thing, 16-team playoff format. It's just in case they can't get all the games they need in the 17 or 18 weeks. I really don't think that this is a great idea. I feel like they need to just keep it to what they have. If for some reason they have to shorten the season, I don't see why they just can't let the guys play when they come back. Extend a week, 2 weeks, maybe 3 or 4 weeks. I mean, so what? We'll be watching football in the middle of February. I ain't mad about that. They got a long-ass off season.
Give it to me all year round.
Yeah, fuck it. I mean, COVID sucks, and I think that we already have a change to the playoff format that I want to see play out. There's 14 teams in it, 16, half the freaking league gets to go in. Here's your fucking participation trophy.
Well, think about this. You could see a 5-win team, 2 5-win teams in the playoffs, or a 5-win team and a 4-win team if they go that route.
That's the thing, like especially in the AFC, they're kind of top heavy,
Right. But
then you have like the NFC East is really the only bad division in the NFC, but it's everything's kind of top heavy right now. You're going to see that 7th, 8th seed just have not good records.
Right. And I think the worst thing that could possibly happen in that scenario is you have your 8 seed knock off your 1 seed.
I know. Yeah.
And it could absolutely happen.
This is the NFL. This isn't basketball. This isn't like the MLB, that anything could happen on any given game in the NFL.
You don't get 3 games to try and win. If you lose, you're fucked.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a terrible idea. I think they need to use their brains, and something happens because of COVID, you got to just let it happen and just extend the season. I don't see the harm is what. You guys are afraid that your 8-month off isn't going to be as great? Get the fuck out of here.
So imagine how bad Tom Brady would feel if the Tampa Bay Bucks were the 1 seed and the Giants were the 8 seed and the Giants beat them. Beat the Bucks. Yeah. New York Giants.
Not the Giants again.
Yeah, New York Giants, the Brady Slayers.
All right. That's all I have for BS. You got anything you want to talk about?
I seen something. I didn't write down any notes or anything about it, but I saw Washington is kind of maybe thinking about trying to shop Dwayne Haskins around. What do you think? What do you think about that? Where do you think it would be a good spot for him besides Dallas?
The bench. I mean, look, Dwayne Haskins has a shit release. You know, if we're gonna give this guy another shot, why didn't we give fucking Tebow? I know we talk about Tebow a lot, but Tebow had a shit release. He didn't play in the NFL. We saw it.
And all Tebow did was win.
That's all he did. No, Dwayne Haskins didn't. All he did was lose and have shitty games. There's no.
But do you think maybe if you get him with a good quarterback coach, get him a good quarterbacks coach, they could work on his release, fix him up. Because the guy had a pretty decent career at Ohio State. You know, it was easy to see when he was playing at Ohio State that when you put pressure on him, he kind of fell apart. But do you maybe try and get him with a good quarterback coach and try and get him to fix those things? You know, maybe Adam Gase. He's the quarterback guru.
Oh my God, Adam Gase, most talented guy in the NFL.
But maybe
coach.
Maybe Haskins can go somewhere and be a serviceable backup somewhere where you need depth on the bench.
Dude, I think he's so good that he could probably be a bona fide backup in the CFL. All right, that's what I think about Dwayne Haskins.
Maybe he can go to Dallas and hold the clipboard for Danucci.
He can go to Dallas and be on their practice squad. All right, the guy, you know, he got a lucky break playing on that team, in my opinion. You know, he's drafted way too high. Like, dude, screw that.
Yeah, he was definitely drafted too high.
Screw that.
I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Why don't you go take a look at Mitch Trubisky, all right, and then take a look at Dwayne Haskins, and then try to tell me that Dwayne Haskins is as good as Mitch Trubisky? It's not even close.
No, it's not.
Trubisky sucks in NFL standards. All right. Okay, Thursday's pick, Packers and Niners. For the Niners to win, everybody that's injured magically gets healed, and they come back and blow out the Packers. Now, here's the thing. The Niners actually have a history of beating the shit out of the Packers. So I'm going to pick the Packers in the game, but I really won't be surprised if Shanahan outcoaches LaFleur and they somehow, some way, come up with a win.
Yeah. If the 49ers weren't so banged up,
this would be
if they weren't so banged up, I would take the Niners. And what makes me feel really bad for the Niners fans is, you know, they had a rough start to the season, and then they had those 2 games where they looked really good. They had a couple guys healthy, guys, you know, and then your next game, boom, boom, your 2 stars go down. Or when did Bosa did Bosa get whacked this week too, or was he
Bosa's been out since week 1.
Oh, well. So, you know, you start looking good, and then your 2 big stars go down, and you're back in the shit sewer. Even still, it's a hard pick for me. I think Nick Mullins might surprise some people.
You know, he is a gunslinger. You know, he doesn't like to check down. That's like the big difference between him and Jimmy G. That's why Nick Mullins makes a lot more mistakes.
Right.
You know, but you know, I'm just going to be real honest. Nick Mullins ain't no Jimmy G.
No, he ain't as pretty.
We saw what Mullins could do 2 years ago. It wasn't that great. We saw what Jimmy did last year with a full season, Super Bowl. I get it, but they had the best football team in the NFL last year, and they should have won the Super Bowl, but that didn't happen. If they're not banged up, I guarantee you that the number 1, number 2 power ranking team would be the Niners. Problem is this is reality. They're all hurt, and they're playing the Green Bay Packers this week.
So you would put the Niners ahead of the Seahawks?
32nd favorite team, yes.
So anyway, my pick, I'm going to take the Packers. I just think Aaron Rodgers on a bad day is better than probably 20 quarterbacks on a good day. So I'm going to take the Packers.
All right. Well, I got nothing more. You have anything?
The only thing I say is same thing I said last time, guys. Make sure you're heading over to our Facebook page, giving us ideas. We want to know what you want to hear us talk about. So if your favorite team is the New York Jets and you want us to bash on them some more for about 10, 15 minutes, I'm more than happy to do that. We also we put an audio version of this out there. We mentioned it before. It's on Anchor, Spotify, iTunes, anywhere you listen to your podcast. It's on about 8 different platforms. Where you're sitting down and you're getting paid to take a dump at work, go ahead, pop us in your ear holes and give us a listen if you can't watch the YouTube video, which, the Hawk takes care of the YouTube video. Go ahead, Hawk, tell them what's going on there.
This is our 10th episode. I'm pretty happy about that. We're doing okay. Just got to keep pushing. All I have is comment, like, and subscribe.
The most important part is subscribe. It's the little thing that looks like a bell. Make sure you hit it. Turn your notifications on too, so when we put the new content out, you guys can listen to it right away. It kind of gives us a little charge when we look, and an hour in, we're already up to like 20 hits. That kind of makes us both tinkle a little bit. So,
yeah, this is the rawest football content you guys are gonna get. All right.
Yep. I mean, it's that stuff that keeps us motivated to keep doing this for you guys. And oh hell, we're gonna do it anyway because we just like staring at each other's pretty faces.
All right, I'm the Hawk.
And I'm the Fat Man.